branches off into this big cosmic drama. And at the same time, also the little drama on Earth as well that we're going through right now. It's
Mhm.
just crazy how all this stuff is like so interconnected. Yeah.
Now, I guess I don't really have to render the video out before I ask your take on this, and you don't have to pull up any information on this, but like a lot of the readings that we've gone through, it discusses two things that I think would be good to get your feedback on and how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to Lemuria, or Lemuria, however you want to
Yeah.
announce it. Now, it what we found was the Lemurians ended up having a conflict with the Atlanteans, and it was because the Atlanteans were being manipulated by the Anunnaki,
Yeah.
and the Atlanteans eventually wanted world domination, and that ended up in conflict with the Lemurians or Lemurians, and there was a nuclear uh, holocaust that took place, which caused both of the islands to sink, both Atlantis and Lemuria. What's
Yeah.
your take on that? What do you think about that?
Well, are we recording?
Yeah.
Well, I I do think this is real stuff because it checks out in the scientific literature. Like we said, we know the great floods happened. We know these islands sank.
Okay. Now that part that you just said and showing the map and everything, that's going in the series. Okay. So, because you did an excellent job of what you just did right there. So that's not going to be on WoW Talk. We're going to make that an actual part of it, and because you hit some pretty good things right there, like you discussed Moo, that was really important.
Before all this,
So that, yeah,
it just
that was really good that you brought that up. And I I'll put it to you this way: we got a lot of good content. We really do.
uh,
Now,
it's really
the one thing I do want to ask you about, though, and this is important because of two things. I know how much you are about when it comes to the history of the Atlanteans. Okay, do you believe that the Atlanteans were manipulated by the Anunnaki and that the Anunnakis were reptilians?
it's an interesting question. Um,
Now,
yes,
I've discussed
and
this with Austin too, and he thinks we should have a conversation about it, like together. So
yeah, I agree. These good ETs or these I don't know how you describe it otherwise. Free will supporting ETs will give divine knowledge to humans and sort of help them become more spiritual. And then you'll see the same theme of like a disruption happening, and then you'll see a new mythology come in where it's sort of like the dark teachings where they try to suppress the spiritual knowledge and sort of guide humanity down a different path. Like same in Star Wars kind of thing, where the dark
yeah.
side of the Force comes to match as the light, and you have this classical battle of good and evil kind of thing going on.
Hmm.
What
Now,
I sort of found out also is that, like, same as in Star Wars, nothing is like completely black and white. You have elements of black in the white and elements of white in the black, and it's difficult at this point for me to say yes, 100%. That's what happened. But in Plato's writings himself, he says that Poseidon gave this divine knowledge to the humans, taught them how to build civilizations, and taught them how to be spiritual custodians. And then when he left his 10 sons to to rule the 10 empires of Atlantis, or the 10 different areas of Atlantis, cities. And over time, the genetics, the divine genetics that he gave to them, got watered down with, I guess, the other humans that were there, and they lost that connection to the divine principles that he left behind. So you see that same theme of the suppression of the knowledge happening over time. And yeah, very commonly, when you look at the remote viewing data and stuff like that, you'll see the reptilian influences happening. At that same period in Egypt, there was the disruption that happened, and there was the intermediate periods. During the first intermediate period, all the history was wiped out at that point, and then you'll see the old gods disappeared, like Osiris and that, which came from Sirius, and the new gods came in that were the Ogdode, that was sort of the reptilian style gods, with like um, lizard and frog heads.
Now, let's hold it there because it's like I said to Austin. I think I mentioned it to you too. I think on the aliens list that the Nagas are a separate alien species. I'm not for sure. I want to double check on that, and then we can come back and discuss the Nagas.
It's
And
interesting. I have an Indian friend here that actually knows quite a bit about this, and we had a little bit of a debate about this because he's not convinced that the Nagas are related to the reptilians. But here it says, when you look on Wikipedia, they were a divine or semi-divine race of half human, half serpent beings that
mhm,
reside in the netherworlds and can occasionally take human or part human form. So they were shapeshifters.
yeah,
And so they're depicted in art. A female Naga is called a Nagi or Nagini. Their descendants are known as Nagavashi and Nair. According to legend, they are the children of the sage Kashyapa, um, and they have all these specific rituals associated with them. Uh, they come in different forms, such as entirely human with snakes on their heads and necks, which you also see in Egyptian mythology, right? Um, so yeah, to me, it's pretty clear that they are very closely tied to these. So they might have been the demigods that were left behind by the reptilians, you know.
yeah.
Whereas the asuras, asuras
Now
also.
hold on. Let's take a break from it, and we'll come back to it because it's like I said.
Okay.
I wanna be able to focus on this specifically if they are on the specific list because I think I misplaced putting the Nagas in this area because I know that they're closely related to the Garthians, but at the same time, I believe they have their own name on the list of different aliens and stuff like that. So,
So what I sort of gathered from looking at the remote viewing data that's recently come out is it's a complicated story because there's time travel involved as well, and
mhm,
they call it these time wars, where certain alien species will go back in time to create the first race on this planet and then claim the planet, you know? So it gets a bit complicated. But what I found out is that there are different races that exist in the Earth. It's not just one ET species, there's multiple. And one of them is a ancient reptilian race that aren't the Draco reptilians from space, but they are naturally evolved ones that came from the dinosaur age.
mhm,
Some of them actually became like, sentient beings like us, quite advanced, may have even developed like space travel capabilities at one point. And some of them seem actually friendly towards humans, or at least curious about humans, you know?
Mm-hmm.
and some of them have spoken to humans in the past and actually revealed quite a lot of that history as well, um, which we can get to on another topic. But so yeah, it seems to me like it's a complex story. There's multiple ET races on the Earth. There might be human-like beings down there, and there might be reptilian type beings down there as well. There's even, and then there's other factions that work with them as well because they're considered a advanced civilization down there.
Yeah.
And now we've also got the secret military people that have also made contact with them. And we have these secret society people that have their telepaths that have been in contact with them since, the Middle Ages. So, yeah, it's an interesting, Star Wars style drama playing out here on Earth.
I can already tell you're keyed up. So I can always tell when I'm talking to you if you're really hyped up about something.
Yeah,
I can tell.
I
So,
can't wait to tease out more of this stuff because every day I'm finding more information out about it. And there's so many rabbit holes we could go down.
well, we're gonna end up going down it because the name of the series is everything about aliens. So we're gonna stick to it and get it done. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let me go ahead and end the recording, and then we'll get back to it at another time because you gave me a lot of stuff that I need to edit out and make look good.
Mm.